Quickly tell me in the chat, students, if I'm audible to all of you. Students, quickly in the chat, all of you. Quickly, students, in the chat, all of you. Students, मेरी आवाज आ रही है सबको? हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, हेलो मेरी आवाज आ रही है स्टूडेंट्स? जल्दी से बताओ स्टूडेंट्स कमेंट सेक्शन में कि मेरी आवाज आ रही है. यस. स्टूडेंट्स, मैंने आपके लिए बलून लेकर आया था, पता नहीं कहां पर रखा मैंने बलून. हाँ, मिल गया स्टूडेंट्स, मिल गया. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम back to your own channel students, Vedantu Science Olympiad. This is Basavaraj sir, your biology master students. सबको प्रणाम students, सबको प्रणाम. Students, how is everyone doing? Students, how is everyone doing? Students, quickly in the chat. How is everyone doing in life? All of you. Yes. How is everyone doing, students? Doing great? Doing amazing? Perfect, students, perfect. That's all we require in life. Now, students. Now, in yesterday's class, we started a chapter called as your breathing and exchange of gases. In the previous class, we learned about how different organisms breathe, what are the different organs present in our body. We learned in yesterday's class, students. Now, in today's class, we will understand something called as mechanism of breathing, students. किस तरह से, how do you think the oxygen enters inside and CO2 is removed outside? That entire process will be learning in today's class. Okay, students. Now, starting off with, I want all of you to understand there is something called as, students, the thoracic cavity, right? The anatomical steps of lungs in thorax is such a way that any change in the volume of the thoracic cavity will reflect in the lungs. Students, बहुत heavy English है, आराम से समझो students, आराम से समझो, right? Now, this entire region is called as thoracic cavity. Now, lungs technically cannot expand very far. Lungs can only expand until the thoracic cavity can expand. I'll give you students quick example, students. Let's say quick example. Okay, students, बहुत ही simple example है. ये है हमारा lungs. Now, this entire lungs is present in the thoracic cavity like this. Let's say this is thoracic cavity now. Okay, now, can you see, students? This much lungs can expand right now. This much lungs can expand in the thoracic cavity. Now, all of you tell me, students, in the chat quickly, if thoracic cavity does not increase, will the lungs increase, students? Is it possible that the lungs can expand if thoracic cavity is only this much? All of you students, tell me in the chat quickly. अगर ये thoracic cavity increase नहीं हुआ, तो lungs भी उतने ही रहेंगे ना, उतने ही रहेंगे students. Now, let's say the thoracic cavity is becoming much more wider now. इतना बड़ा बन गया है thoracic cavity अभी. अगर thoracic cavity बड़ा बन गया ना, can you see, students? The lungs are also increasing more in number now. Lungs are also increasing much more wider. Yes or no? It is increasing. So, the very important concept is that the size of thoracic cavity is directly proportionate to the increase in the size of the lungs. Clear, all of you? Clear? See the students. That is, any change in the volume of thoracic cavity. अगर thoracic cavity यहाँ से इतना बड़ा बन गया, छोटे से इतना बड़ा बन गया thoracic cavity. If there is a change in thoracic cavity, it will reflect in the lung, that is pulmonary cavity. So can I tell they are directly proportional to students each other? Thoracic cavity increases, lungs also can increase. Thoracic cavity decreases, lungs also decrease. Clear, all of you? Is that concept clear to all of you students? How thoracic cavity and lungs are connected to each other. Perfect, friends, perfect. Now, next concept, students, next concept is how do we breathe? How do we breathe? What exactly happens in inspiration? What happens in expiration? Okay? Now, students, so to understand this, all of you should know, we take in oxygen, we remove out CO2. इतना सबको पता है students. इतना सबको पता है, इतना students. इतना सबको पता है. Okay? Now, I want all of you to understand, जब inhalation, exhalation, inspiration, expiration जब करते हैं ना, there is a muscular structure which also respond along with inhalation, exhalation. That muscular organ is called as diaphragm, students. This entire structure is called as what? Diaphragm. So diaphragm is a thin skeletal muscle that is present underneath the lungs. Lungs के नीचे की तरफ there's a structure called as what? Called as diaphragm. Called as diaphragm, students. Diaphragm. And separates the abdomen from the chest. It contracts. Mane, it will contract like this. If this is the diaphragm, students, let's say this is the diaphragm right now. This diaphragm can contract like this. It can become straight. This curved diaphragm can contract like this. Straight ban jayega, contract. Or it can also relax. So it can also what? Contract, or it can relax. When it relaxes, it becomes relaxed. Round ban jayega. When it relaxes, contracts, it becomes straight. Contract ho gaya, contract ho gaya. Okay? So this diaphragm can change. This diaphragm can become contract or relax. Students, is that clear to all of you? Students, itna clear hai sabko? Students, itna clear hai sabko, students? The diaphragm can basically contract and relax. Okay? During inhalation, can contract or flatten during inhalation, contract or flatten, and relaxes. Relaxes when the air is pushed out of the lungs. जब exhalation करते हैं ना, तब क्या हो गया? तब relax बन जाएगा diaphragm. So movement of diaphragm is very important. Okay, students. Now all of you understand. All of you understand right now. The next thing which I want all of you to understand, there is some kind of muscles also involved. Yes, muscles होते हैं students. Muscles are also involved in inhalation and exhalation. Now, for example, let's take this is the sternum. This is the sternum, students. Sternum. Is sternum na? ये वाला बीच का sternum. Now, from this sternum, there are multiple ribs are moving out. Ribs are present here. Now, students, in this ribs, right, between the two ribs, there can be certain muscles. There can be certain muscles can be present like this. Muscles are present between the ribs. This is sternum. These are the rib. These two are the muscles. Now, this region is called as intercostal region. Middle part is called as intercostal region. इस intercostal region के अंदर ना जो अंदर की तरफ है ना, अंदर की तरफ, this is called as what, student? This is called as अंदर की तरफ है तो internal. So internal intercostal muscles. Muscle. Now then what do you call this one, students? It is present on the outside. So can I tell external now? Obviously. So I will call this external. External. Inter means what? Inter means between costal bone, that is bones. Inter is between. Intercostal muscles. Students, please understand these muscles are also involved. Students, देख रहे हो यहाँ पर? One rib, second rib. Between the two ribs, we can see the muscles here. Intercostal and external intercostal. Internal intercostal and external intercostal, students. So ये बाहर की तरफ है, उसके अंदर की तरफ ये वाले हैं. देखो, बाहर की तरफ ये मसल है, उस मसल के अंदर की तरफ और एक मसल है. So these both muscles are also involved in the entire inhalation and exhalation, that is breathing. So breathing में ये सारे muscles का होने का, it should be there for the functioning, proper functioning, students. Okay. Now, students, if that is clear, students, let's understand something called as mechanism of breathing, students. Shall we start, all of you? Shall we start? Mechanism of breathing, students. Mechanism of breathing. Okay. Now, first things first, let's draw one lung, students. Lungs. This right here is the lung. This right here is the lung right now. Lung. Students, इस lung के नीचे क्या होता है, students? इस lungs के नीचे की तरफ क्या होता है? There is a muscle here. There is a structure called as what? Diaphragm. Diaphragm is present, students. Diaphragm is present below the lung right now. Okay. Diaphragm is present below the lung right now. Diaphragm. Okay. Now, what happens during inhalation or inspiration? What happens during inspiration? Understand, students. Understand. Very simple. It is very simple. Now, during inhalation, inhalation or inspiration, this diaphragm, which is in a much more relaxed shape, it is somewhat like curved. No, this entire structure will try to become straight here. It will happen here. Now, for example, students, for example, let's draw the lungs right now. यहाँ पर lungs इस तरह से है ना, lungs इस तरफ से lungs कर्व हुए थोड़े, है ना, lungs है. When these lungs are there, diaphragm was attached to it before, attached to it. It was curved. Now this diaphragm will become straight right now. All of you, diaphragm will become what? Diaphragm will become straight. So can I just draw it one more time? See here. This was the lung before. The diaphragm became straight like this. So इसका मतलब क्या है? Starting में यहाँ पर जो कर्व था ना, कर्व, इस कर्व के अंदर थोड़ा स्पेस था यहाँ पर, है ना, ये देखो ये वाला स्पेस, ये जो स्पेस था ना, सो ये डायफ्राम अब क्या हो गया है? नीचे की तरफ आ गया. डायफ्राम नीचे की तरफ आ गया है. अगर ये डायफ्राम नीचे की तरफ आएगा ना, तो इतना एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस मिलेगा क्या, है ना स्टूडेंट्स? एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस मिलेगा. तो यहां पर देखो, ये पहले डायफ्राम इस तरह से था, डायफ्राम पहले इस तरह से था, कर्व था ना, कर्व था डायफ्राम. सो इतना एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस मिल गया, यहां पर एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस मिल गया. सो ड्यूरिंग इंस्पिरेशन, व्हाट हैपेंस स्टूडेंट्स? ड्यूरिंग इंस्पिरेशन the lungs are getting more space right now. Why? Because students, why? Because the thoracic volume is increasing. First of all, what is happening? The thoracic volume, one second students, volume is increasing. Students, thoracic volume is increasing. Okay, thoracic volume is increasing. If thoracic volume is increasing, students, will the pulmonary volume increase? All of you, will the pulmonary volume increase? Volume also increase? Yes or no? See, this was the first thoracic volume. It became expanded right now. Thoracic volume increased right now. If thoracic volume is increasing because of the movement of diaphragm to the bottom, right? There is more space in thoracic now because diaphragm is going down. Diaphragm is going down right now. So there is more volume. So if there is more volume, more thoracic cavity, more pulmonary volume. Now all of you listen to me very carefully. अगर यहाँ पर pulmonary volume ज़्यादा हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा? The pulmonary pressure will decrease. Pulmonary pressure will decrease. माने क्यों students? All of you know PV is equal to nRT, है ना, बचपन से पढ़ के आ गए. Now let's say this is constant right now, constant. So PV is equal to K. Okay. Now let's bring this V volume down. So P is equal to P is technically inversely proportional to volume right now, है ना. So P is what? Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. अगर यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स, अगर यहाँ पर ना वॉल्यूम ज्यादा बढ़ेगा तो प्रेशर कम होगा, है ना, प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा स्टूडेंट्स. तो क्या है अंदर? प्रेशर इज लेस राइट स्टूडेंट्स, प्रेशर इज लेस राइट नाउ. सो इनसाइड द लंग्स व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? नेगेटिव प्रेशर इज देयर नाउ. Whenever we do inspiration, because of increase in thoracic volume, increase in pulmonary volume, decrease in pulmonary pressure. So pressure is less now here. Now, what about the atmosphere? Atmosphere pressure is very high. Now, all of you tell me students, how does the gas moves? Will the gas move from high pressure to low pressure to high pressure? The gas will always go from, all of you, the gases will always go from high pressure to low pressure. Yes or no students? It will go from high pressure to low pressure. So can I tell, because of the negative pressure inside, the oxygen is entering inside now. Oxygen is entering inside students. Yes or no? The oxygen is entering inside. Why? Because the diaphragm undergoes contraction. Diaphragm became flat. When diaphragm became flat, there was more space inside the lungs. Because of the more volume inside the lungs, what happens? Thoracic volume increase, pulmonary volume increase, pulmonary pressure decreases. If there is less pressure inside, all the gases will enter inside. Oxygen will enter inside. Inhalation. That is what just happened. Students, do this. Inhalation हो गया. Now, first of all, students, understand, when you do inhalation like this increase in thoracic volume, that movement of diaphragm is just primary movement. When you are doing this, students, can you see the chest is going up? Why? Because there are certain muscles here in the ribs. These muscles are also expanding. Which is muscles? The muscles, students, I'm talking about is the external and internal intercostal muscles. These muscles also help in the increasing the thoracic volume. These muscles also help in increasing the thoracic volume. See, proud Indian, right? Increasing thoracic volume. So thoracic volume is increasing, right? Thoracic volume is increasing because of these muscles also. Because of these muscles. So that is what is happening in inspiration. Now what about expiration, students? What happens in expiration? Understand, students. What happens in expiration? Now in expiration, what happens, students? In expiration, what is happening is this diaphragm will undergo relaxation now. Same diaphragm will undergo relaxation. So it was curved like this. Diaphragm will undergo relaxation. Undergo relaxation. Here it undergoes contraction here. Contraction, relaxation. Now let's say the diaphragm is undergoing relaxation. What happens then? This was the lungs. The diaphragm is moving up right now. Diaphragm is moving up. Can you see? During expiration, what is happening, students? During expiration, the diaphragm is moving up. Now all of you tell me, if diaphragm is moving up now, what is happening? If diaphragm is moving up, can I tell? First thing is thoracic volume is decreasing. Volume is decreasing now. Yes or no? Thoracic volume decrease. If thoracic volume is decreasing, can I tell pulmonary volume is also decreasing? Pulmonary volume is decreasing. If volume is decreasing, can I tell? If the volume is decreasing, pressure is increasing. Yes or no? Interpulmonary. We also call it as, students, intrapulmonary. Pulmonary pressure increases. So can I tell the pressure is more inside now? Pressure is more inside the lungs and in the atmosphere. Pressure is less right now. So can I tell the gases will always go from high pressure to low pressure. It will always go from high pressure to low pressure. Obvious, students, high pressure to low pressure it goes. So all the CO2 will move outside. It will go outside, students. All the CO2 will go outside. So that is what is happening in the case of mechanism of breathing. During inspiration, thoracic volume increases, pulmonary volume increases, pressure decreases. Pressure decreased here. And during relaxation, expiration, the diaphragm will relax. Relax ho jayega diaphragm pura. When it relaxes, what happens? Thoracic volume decreases, pulmonary volume decreases, pulmonary pressure increases. More pressure inside, less pressure outside. Gas will always go from high pressure to low pressure. High pressure to low pressure, and all the gases are outside, students. All the gases are outside the body. Gone, removed, gone and removed, students. Gone and removed. Clear all of you? Clear, students? Clear all of you? Yes. This is called as mechanism of breathing, students. This is called as what? Mechanism of breathing right now. Mechanism of breathing, students. Mechanism of breathing. Take care. Dekho, students. Inspiration, what happens? Inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, intrapulmonary pressure, is less. So inside the lung, what should happen? Inside the lungs, pressure should be less for inspiration. Pressure should be less, students. Okay. That is, there is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to atmospheric pressure. So what are we doing, students? We are creating a negative pressure inside the lungs. Negative pressure inside the lungs right here. Okay. See, students, diaphragm is doing what? Diaphragm is becoming straight right now, going down and becoming straight. And intercostal muscles will also undergo expansion. Okay, see, students. Inspiration is initiated by contraction of diaphragm. See, contraction of diaphragm. Diaphragm will go down. Diaphragm will become straight. If diaphragm becomes straight, what happens? Volume of thoracic chamber increases. And because of that, students, along with the muscles and everything, volume of thoracic cavity increases. Right? Now, external and coastal muscles between the ribs also happen, students. Same thing. Increase in muscles. overall increase in thoracic volume causes a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. If there is increase in pulmonary volume, decrease in the pressure. Increase in pulmonary volume decreases the intrapulmonary pressure. Pressure is decreasing. If pressure is decreasing, outside air is coming inside. To the less atmospheric pressure, which forces the air from outside to the inside of the lungs. Inspiration. Yeah. Atmosphere is more outside, inside is less. Everything is forced inside. Everything is forced inside right now. Everything is forced inside. All the pressure, all the air. Okay. Now what happens in expiration, students? This lead to increase in intrapulmonary pressure. Okay. Expiration. Expiration takes place when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. Now what is the meaning of that? Meaning of that is, in expiration what should happen? The intrapulmonary pressure, the pressure inside the lung should always be high compared to the outside. Then only the expiration will happen. Otherwise expiration will not happen. Expiration will never happen, students. Expiration will never happen. Okay. Expiration will never happen, students. Okay. Now students, relaxation of diaphragm and intercostal muscles return the diaphragm and sternum to the normal position. ऊपर की तरफ आ जाएगा diaphragm, है ना? And reduce the thoracic volume and thereby pulmonary volume is decreased. Now this is actually, let's make this better. Normal position. Back to normal position, students. Back to normal position. Back to normal position. यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? यहाँ पर ये स्ट्रेट हो जाएगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा, स्ट्रेट हो जाता है यहाँ पर इंस्पिरेशन के टाइम पे. So that is inspiration and expiration, students. Inspiration and expiration. Okay. So we have ability to increase the strength of respiration and expiration with the help of additional muscles in the abdomen. Okay. On average, a healthy human breathes around 12 to 16 times a minute. Students, we only 12 to 16 times we breathe. Other than the pranayama, all of us breathe a lot, 16 times a minute. Okay. And lot of muscles are involved, students. Now if you see the questions will be like this. The ventilation movement of the lungs in mammals are governed by, it is governed by the diaphragm as well as the costal muscles. You know, diaphragm, costal muscles. During expiration, air is going outside. The diaphragm becomes what? During expiration, dome shaped. You know, dome shaped. Now during inspiration, flattened during inspiration. Okay. Which of the following statements about mechanism of ventilation of breathing is, this is old topic, easy, this is very easy. See, inspiration is passive, that is, it is wrong. Inspiration requires more energy. सांस लेने में थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है ना हमेशा. But expiration will happen automatically. Inspiration is active, expiration is passive actually. So inspiration is not passive, inspiration is active. Okay. Now students, then we come to the next topic. The next topic for today is called as your respiratory volume and capacities. Now what is respiratory volume? What is capacities? You will learn in today's class. It is very easy, very easy to understand because I will give you information. So just have to give me 15 minutes today. Give me 15 minutes, it will be over today. 15 minutes, class is over. In the next class, I'll teach something called as your exchange of gases in the next class. But for today, understand what is respiratory volume. There are 4 things you have to learn here in respiratory volume. And respiratory capacity is one more extra there. Okay. Now students, first thing is the respiratory volume, students. Here are the 4 different points which you have to remember for respiratory volume. 4 different points. The first one is called as tidal volume. Tidal volume, students. Now what is tidal volume? Tidal volume is normal breathing. Without even putting effort. Without even putting effort, we keep on breathing all the time, right? Inhalation, exhalation. Normally it happens, right? See, the volume of air inspired or expired during normal quiet breathing, inspiration, expiration, quiet breathing. Like let's say if I'm sitting normally, if I'm just sitting somewhere, inspiration, expiration will keep on happening. That is called as tidal volume. Tidal volume will always keep on happening automatically will keep on happening. Now, what is inspiratory reserve volume? Now students, I want all of you to forcefully breathe now. Now what do you call that? Forcefully breathing is called as what? Inspiratory reserve volume. The maximum volume of air that can be inhaled forcefully after normal tidal volume. Tidal volume के बाद forcefully if you are taking in, that is called as inspiratory reserve volume. Forcefully you are taking it. That is also called as IRV. IRV called as TV. Normally TV happens. This is forcefully. Now, expiratory reserve volume. Forcefully, if you remove everything out. So that is called as what, students? Maximum volume of air that can be exhaled forcefully after normal total expiration. That is called as your expiratory. That is called as what, students? Expiratory reserve volume. Forcefully removing everything out. सब कुछ बाहर निकाल दिया forcefully. Okay. Now that is basically around 1.2 to 1.5 liters उतना निकलता है बाहर, इतना अंदर जाता है 2 to 2.5 3 liters तक आ जाता है. नॉर्मल में 500 ml नॉर्मल. Okay. Now what is residual volume, students? Residual volume is very simple. Students, let's take this example only. Now this is our lung. Even if I remove everything outside, even if I remove all the air outside, students, if you see, there will be some amount of air inside. कुछ तो air रहेगा ना अंदर. That is called as residual. Some amount of air is always present inside the lungs. Residue, छोटा that is leftovers. Okay. So the volume of air that is remains in the lungs even after forceful expiration. कितना भी exhale करो, कितना भी करो exhale, some amount of air is always present inside the lungs. That is called as what? Residual volume. Residual volume will always remain there. So 4 different types, students. This is the point number 1, that is tidal volume, normal. Point number 2 is forcefully if you inhale everything, that is called as your inspiratory reserve volume, IRV. ERV is expiratory reserve volume. सब कुछ बाहर निकाल रहे हो forcefully. That is point number 3. And 4th is called as residual volume, the remaining volume inside the lungs at any time. This will be present. रहेगा ही रहेगा ये वाला. That is called as residual volume. 4 different things about your volumes: tidal, inspiratory forceful, expiratory forceful outside, and residual volume, students. Okay, students, ये समझ आ गया है ना? This is very easy to understand now. This is very easy to understand. इतना समझ आ गया तो बहुत easy है, students. ये बहुत easy है. Okay. Now, students, what do I mean by inspiratory capacity? Capacity, students. Inspiratory capacity, inspiratory मतलब कुछ तो inspiration हो रहा है ना. So यहाँ पर basically 1 और 2 ऐड करो. मतलब क्या है? मतलब है कि tidal volume plus IRV. Students, tidal volume plus IRV, inspiration reserve volume. अगर दोनों को ऐड करोगे तो inspiratory capacity मिलेगा. Inspiratory capacity मिलेगा. Then tell me, students, what is expiratory capacity then? Expiratory capacity is nothing but tidal volume plus ERV. Tidal volume plus ERV. है ना? ERV. उतना ही. ERV. That is expiratory capacity. That is first you remove all the normal exhale. उसके बाद forcefully all exhale. That is called as expiratory capacity, students. Next is called as functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity is nothing but your this thing. Students, this is 2, 1 plus 3. After you remove everything, after you remove all the air forcefully, do you have some residue left? Residues are left. That is residue. That is your functional residual volume capacity, residual capacity. After you remove everything also, after you remove everything, some amount will always be present. That is your functional residual capacity. That is basically, students, that is basically ERV plus residual volume. That is your RV residual volume 4. Residual volume, students, plus RV residual volume. है ना? Residual volume, students. Now, what is vital capacity? Vital capacity is very important for us. Very important basically means first tidal volume, then forcefully inside, then forcefully outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is TV plus tidal volume plus IRV plus ERV. That is called as your vital capacity, students. Vital capacity 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then what is total lung capacity, students? Total lung capacity is all 4 together. Total capacity of the lung. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. That is basically your what? 1 plus 2 is what, students? 1 plus 1 is your tidal volume. 1 is the tidal volume. 2 is the inspiratory reserve volume, forcefully inhaling, forcefully removal, expiratory reserve volume, and the fourth one is the residual volume. All four together is called total lung capacity. Now in examination, this total lung capacity can be changed also. How? For example, students, can anyone tell me what is 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2. Can I write 1 plus 2 also as inspiratory capacity? Yes or no? So 1 plus 2 can also be written as IC plus 3 plus 4. है ना? So same meaning बनेगा. IC plus 3 plus 4 is same meaning. Yes or no? Or let's say 1 to 3. What is 1 to 3, students? 1 to 3 is what? That is VC. VC. So VC plus 4 is also total lung capacity. What is VC? 1 to 3, 4 plus 4 separate. Okay. Or let's say, students, I can also write as what? Also I can write as 1 plus 2 plus, students, 1 plus 2 plus FRC. FRC. Same thing. If what is FRC? 3 plus 4 is FRC, 1 plus 2 is left. So all of these are different combinations, that's all. Different types of combinations we can make here. Okay. That is basically the different types of capacities, different types of your volumes. That's all. So students, very easy it is. Very easy it is, students. Very easy it is. Okay. Students, here is a table which many students fail to understand. It's very simple, students. First is what? First is tidal volume. Tidal volume is what? Normal inspiration, expiration, inspiration, expiration. Now, what if you take forceful inspiration? Forceful inspiration is what? Forceful inspiration is IRC. Right? Inspiration, reserve volume. Now, students. Now, what is forceful expiration? Forceful expiration is where, students? It's not given, no? Expiration, students, ERC. Okay. So till here it is normal. यहाँ से यहाँ तक, students, यहाँ तक we have your expiratory ERC. This much is forceful inspiration, forceful expiration. ठीक है, इतना बन गया students. Then forceful expiration के बाद भी हमारे lungs के थोड़ा reserve होता है ना, reserve is present. Reserve, residual volume. RV is also present here, residual volume. So this is basically your 1, 2, 3 and 4. Done. 4 points are done. Same 4 points. Yes or no? Same thing. Tidal volume, forcefully inside, forcefully outside, residue. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 है. यहाँ पर भी 1, 2, 3, 4. Now students, now let's say if I take normal 1 plus forcefully inside, 1 plus 2 is what? Students, what is 1 plus 2? All of you. That is basically inspiratory capacity. Yes or no? So, inspiratory capacity. That is 1 plus 2. Can you see, students? 1 plus 2 inspiratory capacity. 1 plus 2 is here. Then students, then we have expiratory capacity. What is expiratory capacity, students? Expiratory capacity is what? 1 plus 3. है ना? 1 plus 3. So this is 1. This is 3 here. So 1 plus 3 is expiratory capacity. This much बन गया. यहाँ से यहाँ तक. Expiratory capacity 1 plus 3. Yes. Then students, this is done. Then functional residual volume is 3 plus 4. है ना? Functional is residual capacity is what? This is 3 here. 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is functional residual capacity. This much entire thing here. Entire thing. Then vital capacity is 1 to 3. Vital capacity is entire thing 1, 2 and 3. Then total lung capacity is 1, 2, 3 and 4 is total lung capacity. So it's very easy to understand now. This is very easy to understand with the help of small tricks 1, 2, 3, 4. So आपको कितने याद रखना पता है? You have to remember only this one here. This is easy, right? See, just remember what is 1, 2, 3, 4 first. If all of you know what is 1, 2, 3, 4, now you can tell inspiratory is what? 1 plus 2. Expiratory is 1 plus 3. Tidal volume. Then functional residual volume. Residue is what? Residue is 4 should be there. It is residue. When do we get residual? We will only get residue when expiration is done. Forceful expiration is done. So forceful expiration is 3 plus 4. Vital capacity for functioning, for proper functioning. Tidal volume, forceful inspiration, forceful expiration. Total lung capacity is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's very easy. Very, very easy, students. Very, very easy. Okay. Students, these questions I'll give you in the homework, students. I'll give you all this in homework. So all these questions in the PDF which you'll get. Okay, it's very, very easy to understand all of these concepts. Students, I'll see you in the next video. All of you take care and bye bye all of you. Have a great day ahead all of you students. Bye bye.